I'm Effie and this is What Effie Reads. Today I'm going to be doing the quarter year crisis tag.
Pitch black hair, his eyes are green. Head's messed up but heart so clean.
This is a tag that was created by Roisin's Reading and I first saw it on Gem of Books channel. Both of those channels will be linked in the description down below. I have already done a quarterly wrap up, but I thought I would do this tag because I kind of just wanted to get involved, but also I thought it might be nice to have a bit of a shorter video reviewing my first quarter of 2022's reading. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. The first question is, how many books have you read so far this year? And up until the start of March, I had completed 52 books. The next question is, have you found any books that you think might be a favourite of 2022? I've definitely had a multitude of 5 stars so far this year, but I think by far my favourite reading experience has been reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It was my first time reading it and I absolutely adored it. I was annotating as I was going on and just had the best of time. If you want to see my thoughts as I was reading it, I do have a vlog of it coming out soon, so please be sure to subscribe if you want to see that video when it comes out. And at the other end of the spectrum, have I read any 1-star books, or what was my least favourite? I've had a couple of books that were quite low rated. I think I did have one book that was 1 star, but the book that I think probably most disappointed me was Witches Steeped in Gold. I felt like it had such a lot of hype when it was coming out in 2021 and I just didn't love it as much as I would have liked. So I think that's probably the one that's disappointed me most. I think the actual worst book I read was Black Whiskers River Pirate, but I kind of knew I wasn't going to like that when I picked it up. The next question is, what is my most read genre so far? And that would be fantasy. It's not a big surprise to me as I do read a fair bit of fantasy. However, I think that's also skewed by the fact that a lot of the books I read might not necessarily be fantasy but have fantastical elements. I use Storygraph. Feel free to add me on Storygraph if you want. So kind of a lot of my stats do come from what Storygraph gives me. So if it says my most read genre is fantasy, then that's my most read genre. The next question is a book that surprised you. I think there's been a number of pleasant surprises. Possibly some of the biggest ones have been the romances, because I always say it's not really my genre. But for example, Delilah Green Doesn't Care, I absolutely adored. It was one of my 5-star reads. It just gave me all the warm fuzzy feelings. And I wouldn't have expected that from a book that is a contemporary romance, but I did. And then I suppose at the other end of the spectrum, like a book that really doesn't give you the warm fuzzies would be In the Seeing Hands of Others. It's such a hard-hitting book, and the fact that it's written by a man as well, it's so good. So difficult. It's dealing with someone who has reported a rape and not been believed. But absolutely brilliantly done. The next question is a 2022 release that's already out, but you haven't read yet and obviously want to. This is a really difficult one because I have so many books I really want to get to. I do have quite a few books that I pre-ordered that are kind of sitting on my shelves, but I think I've been quite good actually at keeping on top of reading a good chunk of my pre-orders. So I think I'm going to go with Manhunt. I think that came out this year. After seeing Kerry's review on her channel, I'm really intrigued by it. I think it's going to be a really difficult book. I'm not sure how well I'm going to gel with it, but my plan is to read that hopefully soon and vlog my experience. But yeah, I'm interested in reading it. Don't know if I'm gonna love it, don't know if I'm gonna hate it. It sounds like it's really well done, but incredibly difficult. The next couple of prompts are to do with goals that you've made. The first one being a goal you've made that you're sticking to. And I would say I'm probably doing a pretty bad job of actually sticking to my goals. I don't remember them very much. I think there was some quantitative goals that I probably am on track with, and then there was some qualitative goals. Wow, I can't speak today. I'm not doing very well with the qualitative stuff, as I'm just not doing a very good job of keeping on track of writing reviews. But, new quarter, new start, all that. So hopefully I will get back on track with writing reviews. But I do think I'm on track in terms of number of books that I'm reading. I would have to double check, but 52 books does feel like I'm meeting my goals. I don't know. I think I said I wanted to read 50 physical books, 50 ebooks, and 100 audiobooks this year. And I think I've read something like 17 physical, 20 odd audiobooks, and I don't know, whatever the difference is in ebooks. But I don't know. In terms of a goal that I want to focus on, I want to DNF more books. Especially, I think that's relevant to audiobooks, because I listen to most of my audiobooks whilst I'm at work. And I have to have my phone on airplane mode, so I have to have my audiobooks pre-downloaded. I don't do a really good job of just quitting audiobooks that I'm not enjoying. So in general, I would like to DNF more books. It would be nice to not have any 1-star and 2-star reads. And obviously some books can be great right up until the end, and then they just flop in the ending. And that's fine. But the amount of books I read that are mediocre throughout, I don't want to be doing that. I want to just quit if I'm not enjoying them. And the final question is new to you booktubers that you've been enjoying. Well, I do enjoy Gem of Books content. I've started watching more of Kevy's content, and she puts out really great videos. I'm trying to think if there's any new to me booktubers. I find that I'll click on videos in particular that appeal to me rather than sticking to the same creators again and again, if that makes sense. There are some creators that I will watch pretty much every video they put out, but in general I'll just, anything that interests me, I'll give it a click. As for tags, I'd love to see Shannon over at Head in the Books do this. I think it'd be really interesting to get Kevy's thoughts, because she's always very vocal in her feelings, and I think it'd be very interesting to see that. I know that Gunpowder Fiction and Plot has already been tagged. I don't know if they've actually done this video yet. I'm pretty much like, if you haven't been tagged and want to do this video, consider this your tag. But that's all for me. So until next time, bye.
There's a place